Meghan Markle is facing major backlash online after a very awkward moment with Indian origin actress and comedian Mindy Kaling on her Netflix show with Love, Meghan. Many people are accusing the Duchess of Sussex of being racist and mocking Mindy's accent in a way that felt really rude and humiliating. The controversy started when Mindy visited Meghan at her luxurious mansion in episode 2 of this particular show. During their conversation, Mindy complimented Meghan's style and said, "By the way, Meghan, I want to ask about your look." However, instead of pronouncing look in a very standard American accent, Mindy said it lewk, a slight variation in pronunciation. Meghan's reaction to this was what caught everybody's attention. Instead of just smiling, nodding, or moving on with the conversation, she acted overly confused, as if she had no idea what Mindy was trying to say. She paused for a moment and asked, "My who?" forcing Mindy to repeat herself. Mindy said it again, "Your look." But Meghan still looked really puzzled and once again said, "My look?" prompting Mindy to repeat it yet again. "Your look, Meghan." At that point, instead of letting it go, Meghan exaggerated the mispronunciation and mocked Mindy's way of saying it, repeating the word in a very sarcastic tone. "Oh, my look. She likes my look." Well, she smiled while saying it, which made it seem like she was making fun of how Mindy pronounced the word rather than just playfully engaging in the conversation. Now, this moment did not sit well with many viewers who felt that Meghan was passive-aggressive and she was actually mocking her. People accused her of mocking Mindy's Indian accent rather than simply brushing off the mispronunciation and moving on. The controversy became even bigger when people started pointing out that Mindy does not actually have an Indian accent, making Meghan's reaction even more unnecessary and offensive. Let me tell you a little about Mindy. She was born in India to a Tamil father and a Bengali mother, but her family migrated to the United States the same year when she was born. Since her parents spoke different Indian languages, they decided to only speak English at home, meaning that Mindy grew up speaking only English. In fact, she had to learn Hindi for her role in Ocean's 8 because she didn't know the language fluently. Despite this, social media users argue that Meghan acted like she couldn't understand Mindy because of her so-called Hindi inflection. They felt that this was deliberate and mean-spirited, specifically coming from somebody who has been very vocal about racism and discrimination in the past. The outrage spilled over onto X, where people began criticizing Meghan's behavior, calling it rude, humiliating, and racist. A post from one user, which gained over 1 lakh views, read, "Meghan humiliated Mindy instead of just laughing it off. That was really triggering for me." Others actually agreed, calling it a mean girl move that should never have made it to the Netflix. The backlash kept growing, with many people pointing out that this is incredibly rude to correct somebody's pronunciation on global TV, specifically when they are not a foreign language speaker. One user wrote, "Unless you are teaching a child or a student learning English, it's extremely inappropriate to correct somebody's pronunciation." Meghan's reaction was just mean. Another comment, "I just saw the clip. It was disgusting. She embarrassed her own friend in front of the entire world. So passive-aggressive." In fact, some people were also surprised that Netflix even chose to air the scene, questioning whether Meghan and her entire team thought that the moment would be seen as funny rather than being offensive. You know what? This controversy is now part of a bigger conversation about racism, accents, and hypocrisy in Hollywood. Many South Asians, particularly Indians, have long faced mockery for their accents in the Western entertainment industry and even in the media. Seeing Meghan react in such a way to Mindy's minor mispronunciation only reminded people of how often Indian accents are laughed off in Hollywood. The situation is also sparking a lot of debate because Meghan herself has been very spoken about facing racism as a mixed race woman in the royal family. Now, people feel that she should be more sensitive rather than acting like she doesn't understand a fellow woman of color over something as minor as mispronunciation. Another major reason this incident is making headlines is that it happened on global TV. Imagine if Meghan had made this comment in private, perhaps it wouldn't have been so controversial. But the fact that this moment was aired on Netflix, a platform with millions of viewers worldwide, makes it a much bigger issue. Some people believe that Meghan's reaction was an attempt to assert dominance over Mindy by making her feel small or embarrassed on such a big platform. Others see it as an example of Meghan's hypocrisy, as she has built her entire public image of being inclusive, kind, and against racism. Yet, in this moment, she seems to do exactly opposite of what she claims. As of now, both Meghan Markle or Mindy Kaling has made any public statement about the controversy. However, the backlash continues to gain momentum on social media. Some people are now wondering if Meghan will apologize, though she has remained silent on this issue. Others are questioning whether Netflix might edit the scene or issue a response given the growing criticism. Mindy Kaling, who was the one who was affected by the incident, has also not spoken out about how she felt at that moment. If she does decide to respond, it could fuel the controversy even further. At the heart of this debate is a big question. Was Meghan just joking, or was this an example of racial bullying? Some argue that she didn't mean any harm, while others say that it was a clear case of her putting down another woman of color on such a big platform. Whatever the case is, this incident has sparked a lot of conversation about how accents are perceived, the treatment of South Asians in Hollywood, and whether Meghan Markle truly practices what she preaches when it comes to racism and inclusion.